Everybody keeps calling Letsile Tebogo the king of the 200 meters. But what if Kenny Bednarek has already taken that crown and nobody wants to admit it? Because on July 4th, one race could completely flip the sprinting world upside down: the Olympic champion versus the man who already beat him this season. And here's what makes this showdown so controversial. Olympic Gold says Tebogo is still the world's best. But the stopwatch in 2026 tells a different story. Because while everyone keeps celebrating what Tebogo did in Paris, Bednarek has quietly been building something even more dangerous. He didn't just beat Tebogo in Rabat, he beat him by 0.27 seconds. In elite sprinting, that's not a close finish, that's domination. So now fans are split. Was Rabat just one bad race for the Olympic champion? Or are we watching a changing of the guard before our eyes? That's exactly what July 4th is about. This isn't simply another Diamond League race. It's a fight for control of the men's 200 meters. To understand why this matters so much, you have to look at what both men have already achieved. Letsile Tebogo is only 23 years old, but he's already rewritten Botswana's sporting history. At the Paris Olympics, he stormed to gold in 19.46 seconds, becoming Botswana's first ever Olympic champion. The entire country celebrated with a national holiday, and by the end of the year, he was crowned World Athletics Men's Track Athlete of the Year. But champions aren't judged only by what they did yesterday. They're judged by what they do next. And 2025 wasn't kind to Tebogo. A false start ended his 100-meter hopes at the World Championships, and he left the 200-meter final without a medal after finishing behind Noah Lyles, Kenny Bednarek, and Brian Lavelle. For the first time since becoming Olympic champion, questions started appearing. Had the rest of the world caught him? Tebogo answered some of those doubts by winning at Hayward Field later that season in 19.76. Then this year, he opened with a second-place finish in Rabat before bouncing back with a convincing victory in Oslo. His form is improving, but standing in his way is the one man who seems to be getting better every single month. Kenny Bednarek has spent years living in the shadow of Olympic gold. Twice he finished with silver. Twice he watched someone else stand on the top step. Now, at 27 years old, he looks closer than ever to changing that story. His 19.69 victory in Rabat wasn't just fast, it was a statement. He also won in Stockholm, proving his speed wasn't a one-race performance. Even more importantly, Hayward Field has always suited him. He has already run 19.59 there, one of the fastest times ever recorded at the stadium. That makes Eugene the perfect stage for another showdown. The contrast between these two sprinters is what makes this rivalry fascinating. Bednarek attacks the curve like few athletes in the world. If he exits the bend with daylight behind him, catching him becomes incredibly difficult. Tebogo races differently. His greatest weapon is his closing speed. We've already seen him hunt down world-class sprinters over the final 100 meters, but that only works if he stays within striking distance. If Bednarek opens too big of a gap, even Tebogo's finishing kick might not be enough. That's why execution matters more than reputation. The track favors both men. The conditions should be perfect. There are no excuses, only one answer. Who really owns the 200 meters right now? This race won't decide the Olympic Games. It won't hand anyone a world title, but it could decide something just as important: momentum. The winner leaves Eugene with confidence heading toward the Diamond League final and the road to Los Angeles, 2028. The loser leaves knowing their biggest rival just gained the psychological advantage, and sometimes that's the hardest defeat to overcome. So when the gun fires at Hayward Field, don't just watch the clock, watch the rivalry. Because by the time these two cross the finish line, the sprinting world may have a brand new king of the 200 meters. Who do you think wins this showdown? Letsile Tebogo or Kenny Bednarek? Let me know in the comments below.